My name is Frances Jones, and I am the CEO and founder of Heart Desires Fulfillment Coaching LLC. I am also the author of the soon to be released book titled Overcoming the Emotional Stigmas of Infertility, Barren but Not Ashamed. That book will be released in March 25th, 2021. I'm here today because I want to share and speak into your life. I want you to know that as Black women, we have to deal with a lot of responsibility. And a lot of times there's a lot of weight on our shoulders. We may want to do things in life, but because of commitments that we've made previously to maybe our spouse or our children, or maybe even our parents, we have the tendency to forget about our dreams, our goals, the things we want to aspire and do in our own lives, because we're so committed to helping others become their better selves that we forget about making sure that we can become a better version of our own self. I want to help you with some things today. Number one, if you are denying yourself the possibilities of going after your dreams, think twice about that. Realize that you were placed in this earth for a very special reason at this point in time. And there are wonderful things that you should be accomplishing with your life. Now, I'm a wife and I'm a mother, but there's more to my life than just being a wife, a mother, and even an employee. The things that I wanted to accomplish in my life were even a little scary to me because I began to realize that the vision that I had for myself was too small. Have you ever felt that way? Have you ever thought that, wow, I want to do these wonderful things, but am I dreaming too big? Am I stepping outside of my comfort zone? Am I really capable of accomplishing the things that are in my heart? And if you are that person, the answer to that question is you can be anything that you want to be. And you can do anything that you want to do. But first, you must believe in yourself. Believe that greatness is for you. Believe that that dream that you have been sitting on all of your life, perhaps, can occur in your life. You can inspire others with your own life, with your own story. You can teach young girls that it's okay to be an entrepreneur if that's what they want to be. It's okay to be that educated person that can do more than what their parents did. In actuality, according to scripture, we're supposed to do more than what our parents did. We're supposed to exceed what they were able to accomplish. And you can do that. And it doesn't have to be about pride. It doesn't have to be about arrogance. It's about confidence, self assurance, knowing that you can go further than anyone else in your family ever has. You can accomplish things that no one in your family has ever tried to accomplish. Do you want to further your education? Do you want to go to college? These things are something that you can accomplish. Do you want to be that entrepreneur? Are you that person who wants to be an engineer or maybe a dancer, maybe an athletic gymnast? The skies are the limits. Maybe even President of the United States. There are doors that are opening for us as Black women that never were open before. You can be the first in your generation to go to college and complete it. You can be the first doctor in your family. You can be the first millionaire or even billionaire in your family. You can soar to the heights that many people dare not to go to, all because of what's in you. There are special qualities that you have that no one else has. Haven't we heard about our fingerprints? No one else can copy our prints. They're specially created just for us. You have a brilliant mind. You have the endurance to go places that no one else has gone before. Yes, you. When you think about your life, what comes to mind first? Is it doubt or is it possibilities? Is it hopes and dreams or is it fear? I beg to differ, to say to you, let hopes and dreams overtake you. Let your mind soar. What I did with my own life, I was always a studious person. I came from a very humble life. My parents were sharecroppers. We were very poor. I came from a home that was wooden framed, no running water, no inside plumbing. No one in my family had even graduated from college. My mom and dad, smart as they were, but they were not able to finish high school because they were farmers and they were needed to help farm the land. They were needed, so they had to stop their education. But they never let go of the dream of having their own farm, their own business. Now, they went after that dream, and there were roadblocks, and there were things that stopped them. And I saw them work, and I saw them dream, and I saw them desire to give more to their children, to give them a different opportunity, to give me, as their youngest daughter, a different opportunity. And so when I finished high school, I didn't immediately go into college. I waited 3 years. Now, there were no real opportunities where I was from. The deep south of Mississippi, in a small little town, not many jobs, farms and factories. That was my destiny at the time. That's all I could see. But I took a class in high school, an accounting class, and something sparked in me. I didn't even know what an accountant was, but the class was fun. I was always a math person. And so I promised myself, if I ever went to college, I would major in accounting. Had no idea what that would be, but I wanted to do it. And so when those 3 years passed, I enrolled in a junior college. And guess what? I enrolled as an accountant. I did well at that two-year college, and I decided to go further. So I went to a 4-year university and I received a bachelor's in accounting. But that wasn't enough. So I continued my educational endeavors and I received a master's in accounting. But I hadn't found a job in accounting yet. So the university paid for my education, so I continued and I received another master's. But it was time for me to leave that university and branch out. I found my first accounting job. And I remember that all I wanted was enough money to pay for my student loans, to get an apartment, and to pay for my brand new car that I had just bought. And I mentioned a salary to the recruiters, and I told them I wanted to make $25,000 a year. They told me I would never be able to make that. Why, I don't know. But that was what they spoke. But guess what? I didn't buy into what they said. I believed for what I wanted. And I found a job that paid me exactly that. And I began to build upon that and build upon that. And my hopes and my dreams began to expand. And I got to a point where I became discontent. There was discontentment. I wasn't satisfied with being an accountant anymore. And it wasn't because the job was hard. I loved it. But there was something missing. There was not that personal exposure and touching the lives of people. I wanted to do that. Didn't know what I would do, but something had changed in me. My desire changed. I was beginning to tap into something that I didn't understand, that there was a divine destiny that was connected to my life. And it wasn't about the career I had chosen, but the chosen career that was for me, chosen by someone else, chosen by my creator. So I started doing some discovery. I went and I made decisions and I started finding out who I really was, got in touch with the real me. And I began to understand that in order for me to touch lives on a personal way, I had to change who I was. And I did. I learned about being a life coach. Now, I didn't know everything that was involved, but I began to research the income of being a life coach, and it was nowhere near the income that I was accustomed to making. So I had to make a decision. Was I going to let a salary difference or a salary decrease potentially cause me to step away from my dream of touching lives in a personal way? But I knew, just like I had succeeded in everything else that my hands had touched, if I gave my all in all, I would succeed in this as well. And this was tied to my divine destiny. So, one thing I want you to know, that whatever is tied to your divine destiny, if you don't quit, if you don't give up, there is no way you will fail. It's impossible because you've tied in, you've tapped in into what you were created to do and to be. And so as I began to learn about being a life coach, I had to choose a niche. Some people call it niche, but I began to choose what I would actually specialize in. Life purpose coaching. But then there was something that caused me to go to something very, very specialized, and that was infertility coaching. Now, it's not my job to tell you how to get pregnant. That's not what I do. What I do is I help women who are dealing with those negative thoughts, emotions, and stigmas associated with infertility to be able to move past that heartache, to stop beating themselves up, to stop tormenting themselves, to stop letting infertility control their lives and rob them of the joy and peace and happiness that had been promised to them. That's what I do. I was never able to have children. Over 20 plus years, never being able to conceive, not once. And I hurt and I was heartbroken. But I was able to find a way to pull myself out of the dark zone and to be able to embrace infertility and to be able to recognize that because a part of my body wasn't operating, had nothing to do with who I was as a person, had nothing to do with my ability to be worthy of being the woman, the Black woman that I am. Infertility hurt, but infertility pushed me into my divine destiny even further. It helped me to bring hope and happiness and inspiration to others. So, as a Black woman, when you are thinking about what you want to truly do with your life, do not, if all possible, tie to income. Because if you don't see the money coming quickly as you think it should come, you may begin to doubt yourself and think, well, maybe this is not what I was meant to do. But if you can't let it go from your heart, if no matter how much you try to shake it, it won't leave you, then you have tapped into gold. Another thing, when you are focused on helping others, take yourself out of the picture. Let your focus be about those that you're here to serve. And when you are focused on them and less on you, you will feel a reward that you never thought you could feel, an explosion in your heart that you never thought you could ever feel. So I just want to share some tips with you today and let you know that if you can dream it, you can have it. If you believe it, even though it may sound cliche, you can achieve it. Don't give up on your dream. And don't let anyone cause you to doubt who you are and what you know in your heart you need to accomplish. Even if it's your spouse, your parents, or your best friend down the street. What's for you will be yours as long as you don't let go.